Here are some of the best coins sold at the Central States U.S. Coins signature auction. In 1860, the U.S. Mint implemented a 13-cent proofing fee, meaning that if you, as a collector, wanted to buy proof coins, you could no longer just buy them for face value. You had to now pay a small premium, and perhaps as an indirect result of the 1861 proof-seated Liberty quarter dollars minted, only 400 were eventually distributed, with 600 coins returned to be melted for recoining. This is the sole finest of those that survived. Graded by PCGS as Proof 68 Cameo, at auction it was sold for no less than $156,000. There is much about the early history and inception of the 1861 Confederate States 1-cent coin that remains unclear, but what we do know paints an intriguing picture, one where Philadelphia-based die sinker and engraver Robert Lovett created these coins seemingly on commission in early 1861. But as the Civil War and its divisions grew, it became clear to Lovett that he might have inadvertently committed treason by doing so. So, fearful of the consequences, he kept the coins hidden and secret for more than a decade, until one night he accidentally and drunkenly spent one at a bar in 1873. Today, only 16 of these coins are known to exist. This example, graded by PCGS as Proof 63, which sold at auction for $216,000. In 1797, the reverse design of the gold eagle was changed to align more closely with the rest of the coins issued. The older, small eagle reverse was then replaced with the newer heraldic eagle reverse design instead. But the change was not effected until at least 3,615 of the small eagle reverse coins were already minted. Today, it is estimated that around 65 of these coins may have survived, with fewer than 10 of those known in mint state grades today. This PCGS graded MS61 example is actually the 5th finest known. At auction, it was sold for the sum of $288,000. Over the course of at least 20 years, in the mid-1800s, numerous parties tried to establish an American gold coin that could be more easily used to facilitate international trade, specifically with the Latin Monetary Union in Europe. Arguably, the most successful of those was the gold $4 or Stella Coin. According to mint records, 425 flowing hair stellas were minted in 1870. Intended, at least initially, for presentation to Congress to persuade them to authorize the coin for a wider distribution. Graded by CACG as Proof 66 Cameo, this example of the coin was sold at auction for $324,000. The Starry Reverse silver dollar from 1839 is a bit of a misnomer at first glance. It uses the same Starry Reverse from the 1836 coin, but the obverse from an issue minted in 1838, omitting the designer's name and including obverse stars. Minted in copper, this unique coin, of which only one example is known, is actually a restrike, minted a lot closer to 1869 in all probability. The existence of the coin has been known for at least since 1908, but until now, the coin has not been seen at auction for 80 of those years. Graded by PCGS as Proof 64 Red Brown, it sold for $360,000. Sometime during 1799, the punch used to impress the stars on the obverse of the gold eagle must have broken, as there are two known varieties, one with small stars and one with large stars that seem a little more beefy in appearance. These large obverse stars would be used continually until 1801, when they too were then eventually replaced. This large star variety from 1799 $10 coin is graded by PCGS as MS65, and at auction was sold for the sum of $360,000. 1796 was the first year in which the US Mint was able to produce one of every denomination as ordered by the Mint Act of 1792, and the coins apparently saw widespread circulation too, as almost all of the known gold eagle coins surviving today are in circulating grades. Mint state coins are seldomly encountered though. This MS62 Plus example from PCGS is actually the third finest known coin. When its turn on the auction block came, it was able to secure a price of $360,000. The 1893 Proof Strike Double Eagle coin is a spectacular rarity within the series. Much like the Morgan dollars from the same year, an economic downturn caused the mint to slow production, and only 59 Proof Coronet Double Eagles were minted in 1893, and surprisingly few of these coins managed to survive to this day. The population report reflects 13 grading events, not accounting for crossovers or resubmissions, and a further 3 coins are then known to be in museum collections. This coin is the finest known at a grade of Proof 65 Deep Cameo from PCGS. It secured a closing price at auction of $408,000. 1795 marks the first year in which the US Mint, which was only founded 3 years prior in 1792, was able to start issuing gold coins for circulation. The $10 or Gold Eagle had a mintage of 5,583 coins, although that also includes an estimated around 500 or so coins of the rare 9 leaves variety for this coin as well. Though this is the more plentiful 13 leaves, referring to the palm frond that the eagle is grasping in its talons. The coin's high grade and tremendous eye appeal will secure it pride of place in almost any gold coin collection. Graded by PCGS as MS64 Plus, it sold at auction for $600,000. Following the then too unmatched chaos of the Civil War, there was a movement towards the revival of faith within many sectors of American society. One Reverend Watkinson of Pennsylvania lobbied Congress to add an inscription referring to God on the nation's coinage. His efforts were successful, and initial steps were taken to include the phrase, "God is our trust," on some coins. This unique gold $10 pattern coin is one of the first, where the motto was altered slightly to "God our trust," and then in later issues it would see circulation where the motto was then altered to the now all too familiar "In God we trust." Graded by PCGS as Proof 64 Cameo, this seldomly seen gem was sold at auction for $810,000. Subscribe to WNN and feel free to watch another video about American coins right here next. For the World Numismatic News, I am Numisman saying thank you for watching, keep collecting, and have a fantastic day.